Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of War and Conquest YouTube. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. We are going to be attempting, at least, to build Roman siege fortifications that we discussed in last week's episode on the Siege of Alesia. So I picked out a spot here in the woods where I think there's going to be as few tree roots as possible right in here, because I didn't want to tear up my actual backyard. So we're gonna lay our initial lines in right here. Now in the coming weeks we might expand them. I'm thinking maybe see if we can make our trench right in here, because I already have a ditch. But only problem I can see is this all being lowland. As you can see, the hills rolling down, it's going to flood all the time. So we'll see. To help get into character for this, I decided to wear my battle vest here, because the Romans always worked in their armor. Because, you know, you have events like the Battle of the Sombra, and you're in the middle of working on your camp, and next thing you know, you've got 60,000 Gauls charging you. So I decided to wear my vest, and in order to get into character, and because it adheres to my philosophy of never going into the woods without a gun. Because you never know what's going to happen. You get things like, a lot of times walking in the woods, nothing happens, but you never know. You could come across a bear, or like a mountain lion, or an actual lion, because you never know. Some people have weird animal collections, and every now and again they escape. Taking a stroll through the woods with your dog, and next thing you know, you've got a lioness stalking you in the bush. Well, you got your gun, well, you can at least scare it away. So, always go in the woods with a gun. So, first matter of business, besides cutting off my hand, is going to be finding a tree to make our lily out of. That's going to be the first thing I'm going to try today. I got to find a good enough tree to chop down. My axe here. Let's see at this one. That's rotted. That one's rotted. No good. What about him right here? I know the top broke, but you know, he just might do it. Out of the way so we can work. Might use him later for our barbed wire. This is more than likely going to be a multi-part series as I construct the fortifications. Oh yeah, whack him out of the way. It's going to take me a while to do this because, well, Julius Caesar had 50,000 men to help him. I'm out here by myself. Let's get that out of the way so we're not running into it in the course of work. Alright. If I get through that with... Guess I can. Alright, let's chop this sucker down. Probably go over here for this, so I'm not getting the tree falling on me. This is a lot easier in Minecraft. Almost gonna lose our pistol there. Might have to detach this just because this gun is way too expensive to be falling in the mud. So there's that center block. What? Point the barrel away from me, practice good gun safety. You know what? I'll leave him there. Because I may as well use... Well, so yeah. See, I want to use this end because it's already sort of chipped. But it'd be harder to hide that way. Have a little workbench here. Come on, cooperate. There we go. So yeah, what I'm doing to also get in character, because you know, the fear of death helps motivate a lot of people. So my plan is, in my head right now, I'm pretending like someone like Beto O'Rourke just got elected president. And you know, he's one of those super hardcore anti-gunners. I'm pretending he got elected president and he's coming for my guns. And I've got to prepare my Roman/Home Alone style defenses because the ATF is after me. So that's helping me really get into character here for this whole scenario here. Oh, that's bad. Hitting that knot there. Come on off. You can do it, little buddy. That's bad. I'm breaking a lot of rules of wood cutting right now by hitting my axe directly into the dirt. It's never good for the blade. That's a bad idea. I can see it now. All right. So it's useless now. Might need a hammer. All right, I'm back with the hammer. Good old 15-ounce framing hammer. It's all run down there. I'm gonna move it back a little bit more. Oh yeah, switching up. dog hurts. All right. See if we can clear it with a big one. There we go. Right in the dirt. All right. So we're getting a nice little point on her there. Guess I'm gonna have to fully detach it to get it spun around. A little sweaty. Ooh, look at that sexy little point. Look at that. Oh, uh-oh, we're losing it. So I want to come from the other side now. Could really use one of those big, pencil sharpeners, like one with a mouth on about that big. All right, just surveying my work so far, I'm thinking that our lily here is too big, because this thing is probably about 8 foot tall, considering I'm about 6'2", so yeah, I'm probably looking at like 7.5, 8 foot here. This would actually be a better tombstone, so I might have to cut it down with the saw a little bit. Or we bury her. Just so I don't have to dig an 8 foot hole by myself. Get her. Get her. There. I go over on this side. And then. So again. Ooh. Get her. Get her. There. A little more point here to the broad tip. Oh yeah, that's nice. I gotta make sure my dog doesn't go chasing after the neighbors. Alright, I'm back. Operation Secure the Dog has been a success. Had to take this off too, because I don't want my neighbors to know just exactly what I do out in the woods here. Might be a very confused 911 call. Oh yeah, our neighbor. Out there strapped in the woods building Siegeworks. Get the zipper to work. There we go. Get her buckled up for extra security. Alright, so when I went back inside, I picked up my version of the commentaries. These are only supposed to be 3 foot long, so I might actually make a couple of them out of this one log, I'm thinking. Because I'm definitely not digging an 8 foot hole to bury this son of a bitch in there. That's not happening. Especially not in the woods here. Now the water table might be high, that I might hit water at 6 or 8 inches, who knows. Alright. Alright, where do I need to add to it? I'm taking too much out of the base. That's a good enough point, I think. Alright, so got this all here. No, it didn't. Alright. So there's our lily. It's about 3 foot, right? Close enough. Close enough. Supposed to strip the bark off too, but I'm lazy. Get it in the mud a little bit. Camouflage her up. Supposed to be fire hardened. I'm gonna get to that later. Alright, so I decided to ditch the battle pack for now. Just because it was getting hot, and I've never been one for following rules and regulations anyway. Let's see if we can have some fun with the pickaxe. Just to give you guys an idea of what I'm hacking through right now. Look at this shit. I thought with no big trees being around, it would be easy. But I was wrong. Alright, we're back on top again, just because I feel like you guys were missing all the real juicy parts of this hole. All that work, and we got about 8 inches. There's just so many roots. Oh! It's like, getting somewhere. I do it once. A little laborer trick there for you. Shovel flick. Oh, look at that. No roots. Alright, so we gotta start tapering it. Probably stop throwing right there. You might be asking yourself, why am I digging this way? Well, the house is that way. So if this was an actual situation, my fallback point would be right here. Then from here I could move to the bridge or try to find a log crossing over the creek. So I'd be running from the house. So I want my defenses facing that way. Sand already. Good old Pine Barren sand. Probably laced with PCBs and God knows what else. That is one of the few things positive I got from my time as a driller. I learned just how contaminated all our water is. All the years of industrial plants dumping chemicals into the water supply and into the woods, which then eventually sunk to the aquifer. And sand is the worst for contamination. It doesn't stop anything. Everything seeps through it. So you can have contamination miles away and your yard could still be contaminated. So, if any of this gets you paranoid, look up an environmental consultant. It's expensive, but you know, it's nice to know, especially if you use well water. People look at places like Flint and think, oh yeah, it's terrible to live there. Well, I got news for you. It's all fucking contaminated. It's just Flint was where they got caught with lead. There's plenty of other nasty stuff in the water out here. Around me, because I'm right next to Fort Dix and McGuire Air Force Base, it's tetrafluorocarbon, I think it is. I know it starts with a C. And it's what they put in airplane fire extinguishers. Like when they test for the runway crews to put out airplane fires. It's a special foam that stops all the oxygen. Well, they found out after like 30 years, it's really bad for you. And that's what's in our water. And it only takes like a really little amount to contaminate it. But the government does nothing about it because it's the government's fault. Oh. And the government rarely ever self-incriminates. That's one more reason to hate them. Oh, yeah, come on. Come on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dig a slit trench here and then bury it and then cover it. That way I don't have to keep angling my shovel in. At least that's the plan anyway. know if it's gonna work. It is the plan now. It's got dirt all over me. It's gonna golf it. Before I get too nuts, let's just see. All right, right about there. It's good. Perfect. I just eyeballed that. I think that looks good. Boom! Right in the foot. Nice. I'm actually getting way more excited about this than I probably should be. It probably says something about me. Alright, so I've been sitting here for the past like 5 or 10 minutes trying to figure out whether I want to bury this now or dig a trench next to it. See, my initial plan was to interlace them like the tombstones. You know, dig a big hole and then put them in, nail them together, and then bury them all together. But seeing how much of a pain in the ass it was just to dig a slit trench, I'm thinking I may just bury it. Trick is, for hiding the fences, you gotta get all the sand down below, all the disturbed earth. Now, I mean, if this is gonna sit here for a couple of years, then it doesn't really matter, but a trained eye can spot new entrenchments, as you can see the disturbed earth. They're really packed in there. Knowing my luck, though, a year is going to go by, and I'm going to be out here with the dog one day, and she's going to impale herself on one of these things. And then it's going to be really fun trying to explain to the vet why there's a bunch of sharpened stakes out in the woods. That will be an interesting conversation, to be sure. You're wondering how I know about the disturbed earth thing from an excerpt I read in the book One Bullet Away. Any fans out here of the book and or HBO series Generation Kill, I would recommend it, considering Nate Fick was the lieutenant of Bravo Company. And he was talking in the early parts about his training before the war and how he spotted an ambush during an exercise because he saw the disturbed earth on a recon patrol. Tried to get him on the show, too. Unfortunately, he said he was too busy for an interview, which is fine, you know. He is the CEO of some tech company called Endgame, which must have gotten quite a few more clicks when the Marvel movies were running. People looking for Thanos spoilers and seeing I think it's a cyber safety or some sort of IT company. You want a little bit of give to it, so that way when you hit it, push, it lifts up into you, you know? Get more penetration power. All right. There's our first lily. All right, let's see if we can be able to build another one. What side do I want to use? May as well use this one. A little big. Kind of want the skinny end. Yeah. Start from here, hack this off, and get to work. Actually, I have a bit of a twisted fascination with seeing this in action now. When you put so much work into something, you want to see it come to fruition. I think it should be pretty evident by my work so far that the carpentry skill in the family my dad has certainly is not hereditary. Of course, I've been out of the construction game for a couple of years now, so I'm a little rusty anyway. I was always just a laborer anyway, so. Alright, got our point there, so I guess we're going to start our downward. Well, I know one thing that I think I'm seriously reconsidering digging the trench. The actual trench. You know, one thing I'm really learning, well, I've learned quite a few things from this, but one of the things I can definitely tell you is that book you probably read in high school, The Most Dangerous Game. The guy who washes up on shore, this rich guy's island, and he hunts people. And the guy survives by building all these traps. That book was bullshit. Because he builds like a melee tiger pit and a couple other natural booby traps. And he does it within like an hour. And just digging this trench right here, or these two trenches here for these stakes, has taken me over an hour. So there's no way you're digging an entire Burmese tiger pit by yourself. Just like that. I mean, I got a pickaxe, a hatchet, an axe, and a hammer, and I'm still struggling. So we're gonna. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. A little higher. Wait, that's right. Let's see. Raising support. Should be something beautiful. Yeah, if you told me a year and a half ago when I started the podcast, I'd be out here digging Roman-style trenches and Siegeworks in my backyard. Oh, I probably wouldn't have said it's out of the question, but, you know, I would have been a little skeptical. That's an interesting wood chipper. It's got tracks. Breaking the immersion. I don't feel Roman anymore. Alright, so this one came out a little worse than I would have wanted. But, you know. So now to cover it. I'm not going to do an incredible job, but I'm just going to have to uncover it a little bit anyway. Probably Wednesday, come back out again. And yeah, that's still really obvious. Make sure I don't cover up the points, though. All right, let's get a pic for social media and head on in. All right, guys, it's been fun. This was the first day of Backyard Siegeworks. I'm still not entirely sure if I'm going to keep that name, but until I come up with something better, that's what we got. And remember, enjoy the woods and stay safe by always having a gun on you. 'Cause you never know, your neighbor's Bengal tiger may just get free. You gotta use the old 45 on them.